We are here also today because the School of Continuing Education has established a relationship with the Ministry of TIAT. Again, if hospitality is going to be the flagship of this institution, we have to make sure that everyone who is participating in the hospitality sector are well trained so that they can offer the best service possible. So with the Ministry of TIAT, there have been conversations to make sure that this becomes possible for tour operators and all the taxi drivers here on the island. So I will leave Mr. Mason and Mr. Nichols to explain that matter.
During the World Tourism Organization's conference on talent development and education in tourism, lifelong tourism educator Dr. Violet V. Coffey stressed the point that tourism is everybody's business. She further said that education and tourism should be from the womb to the tomb. And this posits that collaborative planning is necessary amongst all stakeholders, be they the learner, government, industry, education institutions, amongst others. Further, the need for an understanding of the term host is even more important in the 21st century, where experiences can be shared live on Facebook and other social media sites. We at USM Shell, we share the sentiments of the Caribbean Tourism Month 2016 message by CTO Secretary General Mr. Hugh Riley, under the theme One Sea, One Voice, One Caribbean. And this is what he said. He said that here we note that hospitality is now about guests and their experiences. Our populations must also pay attention to guespitality, a laser-like focus on the guest's point of view. Indeed, if hospitality is about customer service, then guespitality must surely be about the customer experience. At USM Shell, we are teaming up with the Ministry of TIAT, with government in general, and Ministry of TIAT in particular, to see how we can help St. Martin to develop the human capital and programs that would speak to the tourism product and make this the best ever. In this regard, we are working on an MOU, we are working on a document that would help USM to help the Ministry of TIAT and St. Martin with trainings in areas for the different divisions and departments and activities of tourism, be they the taxi drivers or tour operators or heads of department. In whatever area that we can contribute, we are ready, willing, and able to do so. Telling us more about the ministry's mission and vision and how they're working with USM would be Mr. Cecil Nicholas.
We've been working in conjunction with the University of, and let me congratulate the university as well for their new accomplishment. A big congratulations to the university and the staff. We've been working along with the university and trying to come up with a comprehensive program to enhance our ambassadors. As we all know, tourism is the #1 pillar in our society, and it's important that everyone that's involved understands the changing trends and know how to deliver the proper service. There's always room to learn. Nobody knows it all, so we're trying to, in progress of developing a program that can enhance that and keep our ambassadors up to date with the changing trends. So with that said, I look forward to working to work relationship with the USM and to making our product a better product.
As Mr. Ramchandani said, maybe it's easier to look at it this way. It's in phases, but the first phase, as you can see up at the top, the blue building up at the front, is where you have the existing registration and general offices and some of the student services. So the concept is that the first phase will be these units along here to house the business offices, business faculty, business classes, and all that. And then we will redo the front as part of the first phase, and then after that will be the dorms. We're still in the full, in detailed planning. These are conceptual looks right now, but overall, to break down for dollars and cents right now, it's very difficult. But overall, it's around $8 million, and the first phase is going to be between $2.5 million, and then the balance for the rest. Right. So these will be the dorms on the back end, facing on the pond area, and there'll be parking spaces for the students and for the people attending the dorms. You'll have improved things like a cafeteria, and obviously upgraded business and IT. The schedule start, still preliminary work, but we're hoping that we can get things started this year. Again, it may not be, because you still have to go through building permits and things like that. It's not going to be one of these groundbreaking things where it's groundbreaking and you wait another 6 months for permits. So we're pushing ahead to try and get things done as quickly as possible so we can at least start and break ground properly this year and then go full out next year.
Hey guys, did you know that now with Telcel, if you accumulate $25 or more within 1 calendar month, you get 15 more?
15 more?
Yes, 15 more. However you want.
So I can top up $3 now, $10 next week, and so on until I reach or pass $25?
That's right. Get 15 more.
Wow! I feel like a 15 again.
Yeah. Right. Accumulate $25 or more within 1 calendar month and get 15 more. Telcel, when you want more.
Need a loan that's quick and easy. Island Finance. Up to 50,000 guineas real easy. Island Finance. For education, yes. A renovation, that's no problem. Yes, it's true. That's not all. They're quick and friendly too. Island Finance. Appliances, vacations, even fix your car. You can depend on Island Finance.
Win yourself a brand new car from the St. Martin's Lions Club and Port of St. Martin Group of Companies. Get your tickets for the Gold Green Car Raffle and win a brand new Toyota Prius C. Tickets only $10. Get your tickets today. The more tickets you get, the more chances you have. Draw date, Sunday, October 8th. It's available at Van Dodberdien, Madam Estate. Big D's Photo Studio on the Pondville. And from all Lion members and at the Lion's Den. Get your tickets to win a brand new car from the St. Martin's Lions Club and Port of St. Martin Group of Companies.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
When according to the law is the amount of time given to the father when the child born is twins, triplets, and quadruplets. In Article 629, there is a provision for workers to get special paid leave for short periods of time, and time off for your child is considered such an occasion. This is left to the reasonable discretion of the employer and employee. This can also be regulated in a CLA. By the way, just anecdotally, this weekend I was speaking to somebody who, when they gave birth, their employer was kind enough to give them a year off. So, it really does vary between your relationship between your employer and employee and how much money they have, apparently. So how does the amendment apply to other sectors outside of the hospitality sector? What about civil servants? Do they fall under this legislation? Were there discussions with the unions concerning this? The legislation applies to the private sector in general. It does not apply to civil servants. Civil servants have their own specific legal regulations, the LMA, and yes, stakeholder consultations were held. What are the inputs of the different unions and who is part of the tripartite committee? The input of the different unions are presented in the consensus document. The tripartite committee consists of representatives from employers, employees, and government organizations. The employers consist of representatives of the following associations: the SHTA, or the St. Martin Hospitality and Trade Association, the St. Martin Marine Trades Association, and the Indian Merchants Association. There's a total of 3 members and 3 substitute members. The employee representatives consist of representatives from WIFO, Windward Island Civil Servants Union, the Public Sector Union, St. Martin Commercial Unions, Windward Island, St. Martin Communications Union, thank you, Windward Island's Chamber of Labor Unions, and of course representing government is the Department of Labor and myself as minister. What specifically are the remarks and suggestions of the Department of Labor? How do they feel about it? If you have any comments or contributions from them, can we get a copy? The Department of Labor has been the lead agency within the ministry and has done an excellent job, I must say, thank you. And what has been presented to Parliament could not have been possible without their involvement and reflects their remarks and contributions. What is provided in the law for both parents in the event that a child is sick and needs to be flown out, and what if there's more than one child? The law gives the possibility for paid leave in special occasions. This could be an occasion, but is left up to the discretion of negotiations between the employer and employees, or could also be regulated in the CLA. What happens if an employee reaches the end of their third 3-year contract and then is switched to another company? At this moment, it remains a concern that has not been addressed. The tripartite is currently making an additional proposal that will recommend that situations where an employee is deliberately transferred from one company to another to avoid making the employee permanent should not be possible. So again, this is a point that the tripartite committee has taken into consideration and is working in deliberating on that. Are there changes to the cessantia? Is the cessantia different to what it is here now? No changes were made, only minor semantics. The word worker has been replaced with employee. However, in the consensus document, as part of the overall labor reform, changes have been proposed. The idea is to move away from cessantia and promote mobility by implementing an unemployment benefit fund or pension that would travel with the employee in the event they actually quit their job. Many people sometimes stay within unhappy work relationships due to the fact that if they actually quit the job of their own initiative, that they will then lose their cessantia benefits. To MP Romeo Pandaflet, what is the minister's position on making it mandatory for each company to identify all permanent positions within their organization?
across St. Martin are switching to a more rewarding experience. The WIB MasterCard Fun Miles credit card, better known as My Card. Earn 1 Fun Mile for every $2 spent, even abroad and online. This will quickly get you a ton of Fun Miles to redeem for travel, shopping, food, fuel, and much more. But there's more to My Card. Worldwide acceptance, an EMV chip for extra security, and 250 free Fun Miles with first use. Switch to My Card today at WIB.
From within your reach.
Hey guys, did you know that now with Telcel, if you accumulate $25 or more within 1 calendar month, you get 15 more?
15 more?
Yes, 15 more. However you want.
So I can top up $3 now, $10 next week, and so on until I reach or pass $25?
That's right. Get 15 more.
Wow! I feel like a 15 again.
Yeah. Right. Accumulate $25 or more within 1 calendar month and get 15 more. Telcel, when you want more.
All in all, the committee sees that inside and outside the prison is buzzing with activities. And many, together with the committee, have been waiting for this a long time. One can also note that administrative, mean bestuurlijk, so mean the ministers on governmental level, is being administrative of that attention is being given to this organization, and that is essential for the success of the improvement of the prison. The committee has noted with much approval the growing cooperation between the directors of the prison in the Caribbean part of the kingdom. Very proud of that, but it will not be fair of me not to also mention one or two of the concerns that the committee still has, because we are not there yet. We are far from being there. The committee mentioned their disappointment, for instance, in that the function books are not completed. The committee states in the past, the committee was promised several times by ministers of justice that the function books would soon be formalized. It must be noted, however, that mid-year 2017, there still have been no function books established. However, the present minister has promised that the police function books will no longer be adjusted to the organizational changes, but that we will proceed with what is there now and make whatever changes need to be made later. So on that point, the committee, understandably so, remains still very critical and would want us to do more there. And there was also a point with the automation. A lot of stuff that is being done now at the prison is being done manually, the administration, etc. That too we have been working on. During the tenure of Minister Dennis Richardson, investment was made in an administrative system, and we have engaged in finding out exactly why this is not being used and what is pending with it. It is a very good system, and we intend to get it back going, and that will take care of that problem. So all in all, I want to thank and at the same time congratulate, and by no means am I trying to say that the job is done. There's still a lot of work to be done throughout the ministry, but it shows that we are getting there, and that work that we are doing is being recognized by the Progress Committee, who has been very, very, very critical of us for a very long time. On another note, I met with representatives of the cruise line. As you know, I mentioned a few weeks ago that meetings were held with the representative of the mega yachts, and it all has to do with the immigration rules and regulations pertaining to their cruise. There are special arrangements for seamen that would apply, and how these arrangements can be used in a flexible manner without jeopardizing the national security of the country. In the meeting held representative of SEL Maduro, Intermar, and SC and Marine Services were present. And I think it was a very positive meeting. And I'm looking forward to hearing from them as a follow-up some of the main issues that they are encountering, which they would like to see addressed. And I promise that we would have a follow-up meeting on that. My colleague, Minister Emmanuel, mentioned about the immigration controls and the police traffic controls that took place. And he's correct, it will continue. And especially the immigration controls. One of the controls at business in the Maho area, and I purposely will call the name, I think it was already mentioned, it's the Sky Beach restaurant. And I'm calling the name because, you know, I come from the labor thing, and in the ILO, you cannot get fines or what have you, but they have something that they call blame and shame. And I believe all employers should be ashamed of themselves for having people working illegally, depriving them of medical insurance, depriving them of having their children to be able to attend schools, and the damage that this causes. It's not just a matter of taking jobs from locals. The people who are working in that condition, and not because they cannot get permits, but simply because permits are not requested for them. Okay? And I think those employers, more than a fine, should be ashamed of themselves. And I will, in all of the going forward controls, I will mention the name of the businesses that have this practice. This one business, in one business, there were 6 people working. That's almost the whole staff. It is a bar, a restaurant. So I would believe that the functions were waiters and waitresses. I don't think those are such specialized functions that we cannot find people working here. Besides that, the income that is deprived from by the government, that all of us in this room, when we work, we have to pay taxes. Taxes are withheld. And that's how we all contribute to this economy. So I know there will be those who will be shouting and saying by having immigration controls, we are hampering the economy. I think we are more hampering the economy by having people taking part in the economy that others are paying for and not contributing to that economy. And therefore, the immigration controls will continue, and not only will it be so that the workers involved would have to leave the island, but the employers would also be tackled in that sense, and I would be mentioning their name.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
Another reminder that an ad has been placed for the representative of the Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth and Sport on the Board of Directors of the Advancement for Vocational Education, AVE, which runs the NEPA school. Interested applicants can send CVs to the cabinet via Mrs. Vanterpool Arnell at fabiana.vanterpool/Arnell, at stmartingov.org and ccfrancisca.martinburg at stmartingov.org. The ad has been placed in the government info page where more details can be found. I've also been asked concerning our pending meeting with the Windward Islands Teachers Union. I'd like to inform that an initial meeting request was made by the president for a meeting The ministry requested elucidation and had received that, but had not confirmed a meeting date with the union. On the date proposed by the union, the president came to the new government building indicating a meeting. However, unfortunately, the meeting was never confirmed, and upon receiving the necessary information from the various departments, and after scheduling, conflicts have been resolved. A meeting has now been scheduled with the union and will be held on Monday, August 28th, to further discuss the points of concern. In general information, the intended move, as I talked about, I believe last week, has started for the departments, and from Monday, 21st of August to the 25th, in order to accommodate the move, the following departments will remain closed. That is the Department of Education, or I should say all of the departments registered at the Vlon building, Department of Culture, Department of Sport, and the Department of Youth. Also not having access to the public at this moment is the Division for Educational Innovation, which was located further down on the Pondfield Road next to Compass Insurances. So during this time, communication to the above-mentioned offices will be to a minimum to allow the staff to prepare the move, set up the new location, which they are currently busy with, and those offices will reopen here at the new government building on August 28th. That is Monday upcoming, right here at the new government building. As soon as we have gotten them situated, the contact numbers will be made public to the general public. We apologize for any inconvenience this may cause and ask for your patience in this. Any emergency cases can, of course, contact the Secretary General's office or my cabinet for further assistance.